Wagner Seahawks here in our NEC Football Preview Show. Tom Masella, Antonio Williams, offensive lineman, and John Gioia, linebacker, joining us right here. And Tom, I'm looking at the schedule. Fordham, Navy. You're going to find out pretty quickly exactly what you got in store for you, don't you, this year?
Yeah, it's year two, same type of situation. We opened up with Fordham last year, and I think we played Rutgers in week two. So same situation. We just have to find ways to stay healthy and get better each and every week till we get to the conference schedule.
What do you want to see in that first couple of games? Is it you want to see the mental part of the game down, make sure we're not making the mistakes? Do you want to see the conditioning and the training pay off right away? What are you looking for as you take those baby steps?
Well, you hope you're in good shape. I mean, that's why kids come back early in June and go through July. I think for us, we got to start to play and play well and execute. So we got to be competitive. The Fordham game last year, we were winning at halftime. So we just ran out of gas. And against the 1A schools, you want to be competitive. You want to see your kids compete. And if you can get it into the second half, you never know. So we just have to get better, and we have to start to execute on both sides of the ball and special teams, and then see where we are when we get to the schedule, in conference schedule.
Mm-hmm. Tom, you've been around for a long time. You know a lot of different ways to skin the cat. What do you have to do to change what's been happening the last couple of years? I know you're frustrated as anybody. Yeah,
I said this many times over the last couple months. I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. COVID was not kind to us. It set back the development of the program, but we finally got players who want to be at Wagner. I think for a time we had some kids that we've been fortunate to put some kids in the NFL, and everybody thought they were going to the NFL, and they didn't worry about where they are. I love what our kids are doing right now. I love the culture, and the culture is them. And we've just raised the standard as coaches. So for us, it's going out and playing and now starting to execute and have confidence. I think when you lose over a period of time, which we have, it kind of hits your confidence level. We have good football players that now have to start to raise the bar, and our coaches have got to raise the bar. And we've been pretty solid all the way through when we came back in February to school. We had a great spring. I thought our kids have had a great summer. Testing went well this past week. So let's go play, and let's go play and have fun and enjoy playing football, and get back on track to where I think Wagner football should be.
Antonio and John, I want to ask each of you on each side of the ball, how will you specifically assert your leadership skills as you get this train rolling in the right direction again? I know, Antonio, you're a captain. You were former center, right? You're now playing guard. Yes. So if you can give me an example of what you think you can do to help your locker room out.
I mean, it starts with the culture and building the right culture for our guys and trusting the leadership of our coaches as well. And then with the players, specifically us seniors, we have to instill within the younger players, we have a lot, that they have to trust the process. And with offense specifically, the culture is we want to play fast. And in order to play fast, you got to have confidence. In order to have that confidence, you got to know the playbook, you got to know your plays. And I think that's what we're doing great of this summer, especially everybody's learning and getting better as a group.
John?
Yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, I'd say communication is obviously like the biggest part, and knowing what the whole defense has to do as a whole. So I think for myself, I'm a very big communicator. I love to speak. I'm very loud on the field. So just having the whole defense work together as a unit, because in the past we've been a lot of I wouldn't say selfish players, but guys who would sometimes do their own thing. And it goes back to the point where Coach was talking about how guys who were in the NFL, that's what their goal was, and they wasn't thinking about right now. And now on the defensive side of the ball especially, we're thinking about right now as a team and the communication as a team and working together as a unit.
Antonio, I got to ask, through the years, I always looked at Wagner as one of those teams in the NEC that had the bigger, stronger, tougher lines. You feel like you're back there?
I feel like we're getting back there. We got a lot of guys that this week Coach talked about this past week. We was testing. A lot of guys were hitting PRs and hitting a lot of numbers. And for us, being O-lineman, you got to have a lot of power within your legs. And I think we have worked on that a lot. And conditioning-wise as a group, and as a unit, we have gotten better at that. A lot of guys have gotten better, pushed past their limits, and it's going to be great for us when we get into that third quarter, fourth quarter where other teams are getting gas, and we got to push the ball, push the rock, and keep imposing our will.
You know, I want to build up that attitude for a second, because when a team struggles for a number of years, sometimes it can be hard to like that match. But how much does that fire burn in your guys' guts that we want to be part of the turnaround? We want to be remembered as the guys who helped get that ship on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here, longer than ever. I've been here longer than Coach Masella. So I've seen the top, I've seen the bottom, I've seen Wagner in and out. And the main thing that made me want to stay and join the Masters program and continue playing at Wagner's, I wanted to be part of that turnaround. I didn't want to run away. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wanted to be the solution.
I love the attitude, Paul. I love it. The other thing that always jumped out at me is that Wagner, through the years, didn't necessarily try to fool anybody on defense. They tried to beat the living tar out of the teams they were going against. You feel like you've ignited that back on the defensive side again?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think the motor of the defensive side as a whole has been flipped, and it's all 11 guys as soon as the ball is snapped, and just the fire you're talking about. I feel like everyone on our team, top to bottom, has that fire a whole way through. Blitz and coverage and communication. Everyone wants to be together, and the fire together is burning. It's burning brighter.
Tom, I got to ask you about your quarterback situation. It may not be settled yet. I don't know, but maybe you could give us a little hint as to what it looks like.
Quarterback, and I've said it. When you're playing 1, 2, 3 quarter, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks, you really don't have it settled. Mm-hmm. We're settled. We have a quarterback. Steve Kajewski is a transfer. He played at UConn and went to Georgia State, I believe, or Georgia Southern. We got him in a transfer portal this past winter. He won the job, and he's the guy. And for the first time, I feel good about our situation. I feel good about the guys behind him, where they can sit and learn and see how a 1A player. He started 13 games for UConn,
right?
For Randy Edsel. So for the first time in this going into the third year, I said, okay, we have a quarterback. He's the guy our quarterbacks know. Going in, he's in the number one huddle, and he's going to go as long as he can. And hopefully the guys behind him can learn, and they're good players. But finally, I feel good about our quarterback situation.
Is he a runner, a scrambler, or a drop-back passer?
He's faster than you think. He's in the quarterback. He does the RPO game, but he's not going to get you 50, but he'll get you 5-10 yards if he has to. Good arm, good-sized kid who stays alive in the pocket, but he's not a scrambler per se. And I think that bodes well for our young quarterbacks, that you have to go through a process each and every snap. And our new offensive coordinator, Steve Matos, I love what he's doing. A lot of motion, a lot of shifting. He comes from Kansas, and I'm excited to see what we do on offense with an experienced quarterback.
Well, we look forward to seeing it. The Wagner Seahawks, the final team here on our NEC Football Preview Show.